What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy December 2023. We're about to get started. Let's do this. I'm going to share something with you I know you don't know, and I want you to know. I want you to know. Oh, my goodness. All right. What's up, everybody? This is Robert Ferguson, your nutritionist, a guy who shares because he cares. All right, Lori, let's turn this music off. We got a lot to cover here. We got a lot to cover. Do me a favor, if you are coming in live, if you're catching this information, say what's up. If you're in one of our private Facebook groups, make sure you put a dash after you make a statement, and then I can see your name and know exactly who you are. But if you're on my regular Facebook page, if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on YouTube, I keep pushing everybody to YouTube, then you don't got to do that. You just can say, what's up, Robert? I can hear you. How you doing? Thank you for the information. I want to learn more. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Like Dracula. Blah, 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 blah. Now, today, I'm going to share something with you that I believe you will find quite interesting. And that is anyone who's taken medication, whether it's you, whether it is your cousin, your husband, your spouse, anyone who's taking medication. Okay. In the last year, I just grabbed a handful of my clients that I've been working with, and I have helped people save well over $100,000, like well over. That's a big savings. And I'm going to share with you how you can do it. Okay. And I'm going to share with you one of my clients who I spoke to this morning. And she's taking a certain drug, which I'm going to explain. And she's paying on average about $150 a month. We're going to get rid of that. And in January, she is going to have to pay $500. And then when the deductible kicks in, it goes back down to $150. Well, if you just add that up, $500, then you look at $150 for 11 months. What are we talking about? We're close to $2,000, right? And so I got her to be a client. She lucked out and is on one of my discounted programs. And she's making money because she's getting healthier. So one, she's saving money, which means she's making money. Two, she's getting off all of these medications that we're on, because there's more than just this one we're talking about. But by getting off this one, we're going to get off the other. So she's going to feel better. Three, she's going to have better longevity. She's going to live longer and have better quality of life. She's not going to be that person who's going to be concerned about how the medications are affecting her kidneys, as well as the challenge that it's and the stress it puts on her liver. And so you free that. And all she did was get a coach who knows the Diet Free Life methodology. So if any of you want a coach, reach out to my assistant, reach out to me. We have the program. You can probably work with me if I have availability at the time of your request, or I'll connect you with a great coach who is skilled, knowledgeable, trained, not just in the nutrition, but the psychology of the Diet Free Life methodology. Man, we're talking about looking better, feeling better, saving money. Jeez. All right. Now, before I get into what I want to share with you, and I'll end on that, we're going to talk a little bit about whole milk versus skim milk. So if you have any questions, feel free, outside of what I'm going to talk about, to email me, message me, bring it up right now. Okay. And big shout out to Sherry, who's catching us live. What's up, Sherry? And we got somebody from one of our groups hidden. Maybe that's Sherry. And then we got Linda Jackson. What's up, Linda? Linda's rocking it. Linda's an example. I mean, we figured what Linda was spending annually about $2,500. Now it could be a little high. That could be a little low, or it could be right on point. I don't know. Linda could tell me. But when we talked about it, well over a year ago, she was spending about that much annually on all meds. And I can say right now, out loud because Linda's here. She ain't spending that money. So when someone says you have a coach, well, yeah, she has a coach. I'm her coach. And now Linda's coaching people, right? She's about to like really make a huge difference. So she's saving money and her savings pays for me. So I don't know if people just aren't getting this or they don't want to get it, or maybe they just don't know that this is available to them. But anyone, if you're coming out of pocket at all on medications, man, I mean, one, let's look out for your health, but two, geez, we can save you money. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. All right, what's up, Wendy? I'm glad you caught this, Wendy. Now, this is going to be interesting. So let's dive in. Okay. Let's take a look at whole milk versus skim milk. Now, a lot of you don't drink skim milk or whole milk or no kind of milk. You've moved on to almond milk and cashew milk and rice milk and soy milk. And I'm a big soy milk guy. Now, I grew up eating or drinking whole milk. I remember the day that my mom introduced and brought in skim milk. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I remember tasting it going, what is this? It's like, what? It was like water. And that was the beginning of a new diet trend, was let's get rid of the fat. Now, if you look at the whole milk, okay, these are estimates. Okay, you'll see that there's more calories in whole milk compared to skim milk. You'll see that the calories that you're saving is that they've taken the fat out of whole milk. Out of whole milk to create skim milk. Now, the calcium in this picture is off because most, even skim milk, will have about the same amount of calcium as milk. Now, there are some that are processed in a way where they will have less calcium. But in reality here, which one would I choose? Well, we know that people who drink whole milk compared to skim milk are leaner. That's a scientific proven fact. Through epidemiology, like meta-analysis, the way they collect this kind of data, there's been trials on this. Whole milk is a winner. Now, the thing that I'm going to share with you that most people do not know is the effect on insulin when you drink whole milk compared to skim milk. So let me ask you, let me set the stage. Skim milk, let's not go skim milk. Insulin. Some people are hearing me for the first time and they don't really understand the hormone insulin. And they probably aren't aware of how damaging elevated levels of insulin, called hyperinsulinemia, the damaging effects it has on your metabolic health, triglycerides, cholesterol, your heart, your blood sugars, diabetes, PCOS, and the list goes on and on and on. Insulin, even though your doctor doesn't talk about it much, if you live long enough, you will see in the next 5, maybe as long as 15 years, it will just become the norm. Like when you go to the doctor and they check your blood pressure, it'll just be the norm. They will check your fasting insulin. Because once you understand the role of insulin, that's when you can optimize your health. You can optimize your ability to drop some body fat, to avoid gaining body fat. And we're seeing the role of insulin on longevity. For those of you who are interested in not only living longer, but living longer with quality and looking younger than where you're headed. Insulin plays a huge role in all of this. Insulin. And there's not many of us, talking about people like me, that know it in a way where I can speak about it and guide you on it when you're in the kitchen when you're eating. Okay. So here's the thing that will blow your mind. But it will only blow your mind if you understand that we want to optimize our insulin levels in addition to our glucose levels. Some of you are focused so much on glucose, and almost everywhere you go on the internet and all these people, they're always talking about glucose, right? Sugar in the blood. And that is important. It's relevant, but it is not primary to insulin. So anyone who's talking weight loss, I don't care what your age is, anybody who's talking health, they must be speaking to the importance of regulating insulin levels. If they are not, and you're working with someone, I'm sorry, but you need to share this video with them. And if they don't change their tune or just speak candidly and be transparent with you, leave them and come to me or come to one of our coaches. Hear my words. I have so much data on this. You can't argue it at all. Okay. So think of the people who are choosing to use skim milk over whole milk. Why? Less calories. Protein's basically the same. Carbohydrates basically the same. Calcium for the most part is the same. The difference is less fat. Now you've been taught for years to avoid fat. That's why skim milk got to the place where it is today. That's why my mom went for it, because she drank the Kool-Aid years ago. And she brought in skim milk because it's lighter, it's leaner, it's healthier, less fat, and less calories. So you got people thinking calories, you got people avoiding fat. They don't quite understand why they do that. But, it's kind of like I wouldn't understand a lot of things that my accountant would recommend. I don't understand a lot of things that, if I had a cardiologist would recommend. I don't understand a lot about why they train my daughter in certain techniques for cheer. I don't get it, but I'm trusting that they know what they're doing. Same as you would trust that I know what I'm doing. But so I'm telling you right now, if you are being guided by anyone, any weight loss program, anyone who's preaching, I don't care who they are, if it has anything to do with dropping body fat and insulin levels are not part of it, run. And most of your doctors don't get this. And that's not a dig on doctors. They don't get it. So humble up and, get some humble pie. And the doctors, I have some that reach out to me and I coach them and guide them. They're smart. They've demonstrated that they're smart. They're intelligent. They have a strong ability to learn and they're quick. And once they're exposed to the truth, they grab it. But you got the ones who lack humility and they don't got the time. Most of them are working. They don't got time to read studies. They're not that passionate about this part of health. I am. So don't be upset with me because I know more than you. That's what I tell doctors all the time. Open your ears and learn so you can help more people. Okay? And all of our coaches are trained on this. We're trained on it and we got it. We understand it. Now you can go spend thousands of dollars and get certified. And trust me, you ain't going to have a methodology. You're not going to know what we know. You're just not. You're not. And if somebody can change or come to me, I would love to hear it. Invite me on your show. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's have a conversation because we're evidence-based and clinically proven. Now, here's the take home. I hope you guys get this. If you don't, then reach out to me. Just keep listening. You'll get it. Okay. The difference between whole milk and skim milk when it pertains to insulin. Skim milk stimulates. That means it causes your pancreas to secrete 300% more insulin. 300% more insulin is secreted when you drink skim milk compared to whole milk. 300%. And if you understand the importance of this, great. For those who don't, when insulin is elevated and is elevated regularly, and the more insulin this secreted, the worse off. So why is it that whole milk stimulates less insulin compared to skim milk? Well, it has the primary reason, you guys, is because skim milk is more processed than whole milk. And this is in alignment with everything that I keep sharing and teaching. The more processed something is, and this is what we know across the board, the more insulin that gets secreted. If you're not talking insulin, you're doing people an injustice. If you're not speaking insulin levels, you're doing people an injustice. I will talk to anybody. Put me on the phone. I will share with them the data. We have the white paper. We have it all. So again, if you understand insulin, you will understand the importance of these milks. Now, which milk would I drink? Well, I haven't had whole milk. Well, that's not true. I had whole milk. When I go out and get coffee, I'll have whole milk as like a little bit of creamer. I go full fat compared to skim milk. I like soy milk, and I've drank soy milk for many years. There is nothing wrong with soy milk. You'll hear people talk about how it ties into estrogen receptors. They are misinformed also. Help those people. They'll talk about isoflavones. Again, very small amount of isoflavones. And a person can consume a lot of isoflavones. There's studies in China they've done where people are consuming like massive amounts of isoflavones and no negatives. So there's a lot of negatives around that too. But again, my goal here is to help you realize the difference between whole milk and skim milk. If I'm making a recipe, I would go with whole milk. If you like the taste of milk when you make cereal, I would go with whole milk. If whole milk is something that you grew up with and you liked it, I would stick with whole milk. 100%. 100%. Now, if anyone catches this a little late or in the middle, go back to the beginning because I set the stage, I think, well, and I just want you to understand. And this just reinforces the importance of closer to nature, the better. Okay, any questions about whole milk, skim milk? We can talk about it. But again, my goal is I want to reduce how much insulin is being secreted throughout the day. I want to have the right balance of both the hormone insulin and glucose, which is sugar in the blood. Okay, so Wendy asked a question. I love half and half the best. Okay. I don't know what you mean by that, Wendy, but maybe you can ask me the question a little differently because whole milk, I mean, what you like and what I'm talking about is two different things, right? I could say I like cinnamon rolls the best, but what is my goal here? So half and half, maybe that's a little less processed than whole. My point today is two parts when it comes to the milk. Number one, whole milk from a health standpoint, from a metabolic position, is better for you than skim milk. And I say that because skim milk causes over 300% more insulin to be secreted when you drink it compared to whole milk. And I can say that, and why that's important is that we know the more insulin you have elevated, the more insulin you secrete, the more often insulin's elevated, the harder it is for you to lose weight. The quicker you're going to age and the less longevity you're going to, I mean, it is like, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not doing a taste test. I am not recommending like that what is better than what when it comes to my palate. I'm just sharing with you the difference when it comes to insulin, and there's a benefit to that. Some people are going, all right, this is good to know. I'm going to use whole milk whenever the opportunity is there instead of skim milk. I'm going to use whole milk instead of 2% milk. That's totally up to you. Now you know, and you got it. That's on you guys. Now, Wendy asked the question, I like half and half on my fruit and cereal. Is it better to have whole milk? Okay. So maybe Wendy missed all of that. But my whole point between whole milk and skim milk, one of them causes more insulin to be secreted, 300%. If you don't understand the value of less insulin, then that would be the first step, because people are consuming and eating things that are causing major insulin spikes, and they're wondering why, even though their calories are low, they're eating a little better than normal. They're like wondering, like, well, I don't understand. I'm doing everything right. I'm eating like really clean, blah, blah, blah. But yet they're not getting the outcomes, the results that they want. And that's because they don't understand the role of insulin when it's being secreted and elevated regularly. And if you do understand it, which I hope you guys do get it, you will then see the value in whole milk compared to skim milk. That's where you got to go. That's where you got to stop. That's where you got to understand. So, yes, in her question, I would say whole milk, if that's something that you're okay with, is better than skim milk and half. It just is. And I gave the reasons why. Okay. Any other questions about that before I share with you how you can save money being connected and working with someone like me or one of our coaches? Okay. So let me give you an example. I mentioned this earlier. I have a client who I am very excited to be working with. Very excited. Her name is Linda. So Linda, I hope you hear this, because as I told you this morning, I'm very excited about everything that we're doing together. Very excited. And she was sharing with me this morning how she's taking a drug, a medication called Jardiance. Some of you are familiar with that. It's usually recommended or given to people who are type 2 diabetic. And when you read all the information about Jardiance, they usually throw in it helps with like preventing heart failure. Well, if you improve your situation around type 2 diabetes, you also improve your situation as far as the risk of heart failure. It's not a weight loss medication, but people who were on it in one of their studies demonstrated that people can lose 4 to 6 pounds. And again, that's very loose. It wasn't a drug that caused it, but most people who go on a drug like this start to eat differently, start to want to be healthier. They want to get off meds, at least at first, until they just settle in. They either settle in and just accept it and just kind of make it status quo, or they just quit taking it and they're not consistent. They lack the compliance and obedience to take it regularly. And then their situation just gets worse every 3 months when they go see their doctor. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about getting off Jardiance. And I've helped thousands of people get off Jardiance. Now, Jardiance is just one example. I don't know what you guys are paying for blood pressure medication. I don't know what your pay is for statins. Some of you guys get it free based on your situation in life, whatever like medical insurance you have in place. I don't know the details of each person. But with someone who's paying $150 a month to be on Jardiance, and I'm willing to bet everyone who hears my voice right now, this is the beginning of December, I would say at the end of January, maybe February, she will be completely off Jardiance, 100%. She will not have to pay $150 a month, and she will not have to pay that $500 a month. I'm going to save her money, and she's going to be better off as a result of it, because she's eating right. She's moving right. We're doing all the things to get off the other meds, which is more savings. And all of that savings, what if it works out to be $300 a month savings with all the meds she's on, because I know we're going to get her off of them. And she's eating regular food. She's eating bread. She's eating tortillas. She's eating like regular food because she learns through our methodology how to combine foods, how to eat foods in the right proportion, how to eat in a way. Okay. I'm talking foods you enjoy that you can get off meds. Now, it takes a little bit of time for some, takes more time for others. Some people are injecting insulin. Like I have a client who was injecting insulin. She was doing great. I'm jumping up and down for her. And then she just, I don't know, she dropped the ball. I haven't talked to her. I mean, I'm going to talk to her on Wednesday. And my gut tells me her sugar levels are going to be up. Her weight may hopefully be stable. It may have gone up. I doubt if it's gone down. And I will let you guys know if her weight went down, because you're playing a risk when it comes to like having to inject insulin, having to take certain drugs. To get off of these drugs, you have to be mentally alert and mindful and aware the whole time. Like really aware. And you stay the course and you will get off. Because last week I got somebody off blood pressure medication. They never thought it was going to happen. They complained. I mean, regularly we would have a coach call. Usually it's like once a week. Then it goes every 2 weeks for quite a few of my clients. Some people once a month. But every 2 weeks, she would just complain. Well, it's taking so long. Blah, 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 blah. And that's okay. I'm okay with the complaining. But she also followed through and was diligent. Now she's off blood pressure medication. She had been on it for quite a few years. Her weight is the best it's been in years. She's off the blood pressure medication. I'm like, look at you go. And what's interesting is that she forgets how negative she's been as a client. And that's okay. I totally get that. But now that she's off of it, she's so happy and does not want to go back on it. And I just said, let's just keep doing what we're doing. And all you can expect now is to continue to see you become more youthful, reversing that clock. I mean, man, this is great stuff. Anyway, any specific questions for me? Now, I'm sharing with you this story of Linda. I'm not mentioning her last name. There's millions of Lindas. And Linda, if she wants to comment, she can. But I will do a follow-up and let you guys know how it's going. Because one, she's eating in a way right now where I believe we can be off Jardiance on the next week. And that means that we're monitoring the blood sugar. That means that we're in a place to win. And as her coach, I'm excited because she's excited. I mean, I can give her the plays, you know what I mean? I can give her the guidance, but she must do the work. You have to do the work. But it's nice to know what work to do. Because so many people are, oh, well, take this and take that. Like I saw someone posting something earlier today about how good they feel and they're losing weight. And they didn't mention nutrition one time. They just said they're taking a supplement. Those people scare me because that's a lie. That's a lie. All right. Anyway, any other questions before I say goodbye? Because it's Monday. I just wanted to come on here and just share some information. We know the difference now between whole milk and skim milk. We have an idea. We're like, look at your situation, man. How much money are you spending? Just take a moment. And maybe it's not even money. Maybe you get all your meds for free. Okay. And if you get your meds for free, then do you want to stay on meds? I mean, how old are you? Have you given up already? Are you 80 and you're just on meds and you're like, I'm giving up? I mean, I don't know. Like, what is your situation? Some people really don't care. They really don't care. Like, seriously. And the only time they do care is when they have so much pain that they have to go in. And if they're faced with losing a limb, some of them won't give up that limb and they'll rather die. I've seen this happen many times because they don't even know that they can win. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I don't know, it's just interesting. When you know you can win, why wouldn't you do it? Like, some of you want to lose weight and you're just procrastinating. You're just putting it off and you're doing nothing. And I'm not being mean, but you could actually win. Like, I know you will win. You will win. Like, someone called me last week and they're like, Robert, I'm fat. I'm fat. And I said, well, I can help you. I'm fat. And started talking about all kinds of things. And I said, I can help you. I don't know what to do. And they just complain. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you aware at all about what I do? I mean, I'm like, okay. And she says she's fat again. I go, okay. I heard you loud and clear. She actually I could have sold her on any supplement anywhere in the world because she doesn't have the awareness, right, to realize she doesn't know how to eat. And that's okay. The government didn't teach you how to eat. She just didn't learn how to eat. And then we got to be consistent. That's where having a coach comes in. Anyway, for those of you who want to get off meds, I love working with people who want to get off meds. I really do. So come on, reach out to me. Again, you can work with me or I'll get you a coach. But don't put that off. I watch too many people put it off. Their lack of humility. And when I say lack of humility, is people that go, oh, no, I'm going to do it. Let me get some momentum. I got this. And maybe they will get it. But with my almost 30 years experience in helping people like this, being in all 50 states, quite a few countries, learning about all the different ways of eating, all the different foods, the cultural foods, the challenges of life, I have seen it. And I'm telling you, what I know to be true, I follow it myself. I have a coach. Actually, I have a few coaches. I have a coach in around the nutrition part. I have a coach for finances, like a business type coach. And then I have a coach for life, like a psychologist type person that more of a life coach, right? And they all cost money. And I know I'm a better person as long as I have those coaches in my life. I like having a coach. So I experience the benefits of it and I wouldn't change it for anything. So when you know better, you can do better. But some people know better, but doubt better. And if you doubt better, you procrastinate and you won't do jack. You will just exist through it and beat yourself up, come up with reasons why you're not successful, why you can't do it. It's like, man, don't do that to yourself. But who am I just to say that? I mean to be encouraging. All right. So look at your situation, do an inventory, figure out like how much money are you spending on meds? If you're not spending money on meds, look at all the drugs you're taking, whatever those meds are, and look at the side effects. What problem is going to come about if I don't do something? And then reach out to me and let's see what we have available. I may have my discounted program available. And even if I don't, pay the money. And eventually when I do have it available, I'll move you into it and you will save money that way. But you're going to save money. You're going to save time. You're going to save frustration by doing something. Okay. So I want to inspire you guys because I'm going to tell you right now, this client, Linda, we are going to be off this medication called Jardians. We're getting off of this. I'm telling you that right now. So she's got a good coach. I have a great client. Nothing can beat us. We got this. Now, I want to encourage you to get that for you. Okay. Whether you do it on yourself or whether you reach out to us and we can help you out. But let's go. All right. I'm Robert Ferguson. I want to say thank you guys for being here. Remember, when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to health, understand the hormone insulin. Insulin. The closer we eat something to nature, the less insulin will be secreted. That's what we do know, right? So if I ate an apple, I'm going to get a little bit of insulin secreted. But if I drink apple juice, I'm going to get way more insulin secreted. That means nothing unless you know the importance of insulin and the role that it plays in our body when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to weight gain, when it comes to overall metabolic health. All right, you guys, enjoy your Monday. I'll be back mañana. I'm Robert Ferguson. You want to learn more, go to dietfreelife.com. And don't forget to go to our YouTube channel. If you have YouTube, establish a free account and subscribe, maybe hit the bell, and it will tell you if you want to be notified whenever we upload new videos, okay, or go live. All right. Thank you very much. Until the next one. Peace.